25th of May, 1982. The South Atlantic is steel grey and empty. Two pairs of Argentine A-4 Skyhawks rip across the water at less than 50 feet, throttles pinned, bombs slung under the wings. This is not a patrol. It is a run at ships that can kill them from miles away. Captain Pablo Carvalho knows the math. Old jets, no radar, no warning tones. If the British see them early, they die. They stay low because low is life. Waves hammer the canopies with salt spray. Needles shake, gauges blur. The island ahead pebble rises like a wall, the last cover before open water. Over the radio, orders are short and final. Don't climb, not for any reason. Climb and the missiles will find you. Across the horizon, two British warships hold the line. Their radars sweep, their missiles wait. Sea Dart for distance, Sea Wolf for anything that gets close. It is a layered shield built for this exact moment. The crews are alert, trained, confident. Technology favors them. On paper, this should be over before it begins. Then the contacts appear. 4 returns. Low, fast, closing. Alarms snap to life. The decision window shrinks to seconds. If the Skyhawks crest the island unseen, the shield fractures. If they are caught, they vanish in fire. The jets skim past the land, hugging every contour, engines screaming. On the ships, the blips stutter, then fade. Targets lost. The worst outcome, what follows. Pebble Island fills the windscreen, a jagged spine of rock that means survival or death. The Skyhawks press lower 40 feet, then 30 so close the sea throws spray across the glass. No radar, no warning lights, just eyes and timing. Carvalho holds the line, and the formation bends with the terrain, invisible by inches. On the British ships, confidence evaporates. Radar sweeps again. Nothing. The returns are gone, swallowed by land and physics. Sea Dart crews stare at minimum range limits they can't cheat. The missiles are lethal, but only if the target cooperates. It doesn't. A call crackles between bridges. Status unclear. The air is suddenly crowded. A friendly Harrier reports nearby. Friend and enemy share the same slice of sky. Fire now and risk fratricide. Wait and risk everything else. Seconds drain away. The island falls behind the jets. Open water ahead, 10 nautical miles. Close enough to see grey hulls cutting white wakes. Carvalho doesn't slow, he accelerates. This is the moment the shield is supposed to work. Seawolf teams prepare for a knife fight at point-blank range. Computers reboot. Launchers slew. Hands hover over switches. And still the Skyhawks stay low, skimming the waves, forcing the defense. The first solid return snaps onto the screen, and everything moves at once. 2 contacts, low level. On the bridge, orders cut through the noise. Action stations, missiles to bear. The deck vibrates as systems wake up, steel and software racing the clock. Then doubt. A friendly call bleeds into the channel. A Harrier is in the area, wrong place, wrong time. Fire now, and you might kill your own. Wait, and the window closes. The decision sits on one man's shoulders, measured in seconds and consequences. Sea Dart operators fight for a lock that won't hold. The targets are too low, too fast, hiding in ground clutter. The computers want clean geometry. The geometry refuses. Downrange, the jets grow larger with every heartbeat, spray exploding around their noses. Broadsword prepares the closer blade. Seawolf is built for this short-range, fast reaction. The radar paints a single shape, then 2. The system hesitates, guidance falters. A restart command flashes. There is no time. Lookouts shout. The enemy is visible to the naked eye. Deck guns swing, tracers stitch the air. Sailors fire from wherever they can stand, turning the ship into a wall of noise and metal. The shield is no longer layered. It is improvisation. The radar picture collapses into contradictions. Targets split, merge, vanish, reappear. Every system insists it's right, and none of them agree. On Coventry, Sea Dart finally grabs a solution, then loses it as the jets sink even lower, skimming the water until the missile's guidance can't separate aircraft from sea. The shot goes out anyway. White flame. A perfect launch. The missile flies straight and keeps flying, blind. In the Skyhawk, Velasco sees it pass off his right wing, close enough to feel, He doesn't look back. He doesn't need to. His world is the grey ship growing fast in the windscreen. Airspeed high. Altitude minimal. No room to correct. On broadsword, Seawolf comes back online. Screens light up. The lock is clean. Launchers slew. And then the geometry breaks again. Coventry cuts across the firing line. Steel blocking the only weapon that can still work. A shield meant to protect now paralyzes the defense. Orders overlap. Guns open up. The main gun fires, then the sights drift. A 20mm mount jams. Sailors grab rifles and fire anyway. A human answer to a machine problem. The jets keep coming. There are no more retries. Carballo brakes hard, sliding out of the gunfire and lines up the run. The ship flashes past, close enough to count deck fittings. He squeezes, the bombs drop and vanish into the spray. For a heartbeat, nothing happens, then the sea kicks them back up. They skip like stones, violent and wrong, arcing toward the hull. On broadsword, sailors watch in disbelief. One bomb splashes short and sinks. The other slams into the side, punches through steel, ricochets upward and tears out of the deck. It cartwheels into the water and disappears. No explosion, no fireball, just a hole and stunned silence. For a moment, everyone believes the same lie. Maybe the worst is over. Maybe luck held. Damage reports start to form. The air feels lighter. Men stand up. It's a trap set by physics and timing. Behind Carballo, the second pair is already in. Different load, smaller bombs, fewer promises, better odds. Coventry turns hard to open arcs. The decks shudder as guns fire again. Smoke, tracers, noise. The jets are lower now, faster, committed. This time, there will be no skipping. The second attack arrives inside the margin of error. Coventry swings to starboard, trying to clear firing arcs, trying to give the missiles one clean second. Sea Dart crews chase a lock that won't stay alive. The targets sink lower, stealing themselves from the math. The missile launches anyway and loses them instantly. A spear thrown into empty air. On broadsword, Seawolf is finally ready. Screens glow. The lock is solid. This is the shot. Then steel slides across the picture. Coventry crosses the launcher's line, a moving wall where the target should be. The only weapon designed for this moment is blocked by the ship it's meant to protect. There's no time to fix it, no time to reposition. The defense collapses into noise. Guns fire without coordination. Tracers stitch the sky. The main gun pounds the sea, its aim drifting under stress. A 20mm mount seizes up. Sailors abandon procedures and fire rifles from the deck. Pure instinct against closing speed. In the Skyhawks, Velasco and Barrio Nuevo commit. Airspeed high, altitude measured in feet. The ship fills the windscreen. This is no longer a contest of systems. It's a race between gravity, steel, and seconds. And the seconds are gone, the closing speed is brutal. The ship surges larger, faster than instinct can accept. Tracers rip past the canopies, green and white lines snapping through spray and smoke. The Skyhawks hold altitude measured in feet, riding ground effect, engines screaming at the edge of flameout. There is no evasive room left, only forward. On Coventry, every weapon that can fire does. The deck shakes, the air is shredded. Men shout corrections that arrive too late. The ship's silhouette fills the pilot's view bridge. Mast, gun mounts, details no one should ever see this close. Velasco steadies the nose. He fires the cannons first, a tearing burst that rakes the superstructure, forcing heads down and sights off. Then he releases. 2 bombs peel away, heavy and final, arcing just enough to clear the rail. Barrio Nuevo roars overhead, trigger down, his payload refusing to drop, fate decided by a mechanical shrug. The bombs punch into the hull with dull, hollow thuds. No blast, no flash, just impact steel breached, momentum spent inside the ship. For a breathless moment, nothing happens. Men rise, voices start reports, hope creeps in where it doesn't belong. The Skyhawks are already gone. The bombs hit without sound, steel tears, then nothing. 2 hollow thuds travel through the hull like a held breath. For a few seconds, the ship refuses to understand what just happened. Lights stay on. The deck steadies. Men rise from cover, scanning for smoke that isn't there. Inside the compartments, the bombs lie buried, fuses burning down, time stretches. Every system reports normal because the explosion hasn't arrived yet. That delay is the most dangerous thing aboard. It invites hope. On the bridge, voices start again. Damage control prepares. Someone says they're lucky, someone believes it. The sea keeps moving past the bow as if nothing has changed. Then, the countdown ends. The first detonation rips open the space beneath the bridge, shredding consoles, snapping cables, turning air into pressure. Fire surges upward through passageways and finds the operations room. The second blast follows in the forward engine space, killing power, killing propulsion, killing control in the same instant. Smoke floods everything. The ship lists. Orders die on dead circuits. What was a warship seconds ago becomes a wounded mass of steel drifting in its own debris. The silence returns, heavier now, filled with screams and alarms inside below. The ship doesn't sink right away. It suffers. Power is gone. The bridge is a wreck. Smoke claws through every passageway, hot and choking, turning familiar routes into traps. Men shout names that don't answer back. The deck tilts a little more each minute, slow enough to lie about how much time is left. And then, training takes over. Damage control teams move through the haze, dragging the wounded into fresh air, sealing doors that won't seal, fighting fires that won't stay put. On deck, life rafts are cut loose and inflated by hand. Sailors help each other into survival gear, fingers shaking, voices steady. No panic, no running, just work. The captain emerges into daylight, stunned and bleeding, and takes in what remains. The ship is listing hard now. He knows the math. He gives the order. Abandon ship. Men climb down nets into the South Atlantic, cold water slamming the breath from their lungs. Others are pulled from the sea by boats and helicopters circling low. Through it all, the discipline holds. When the last man leaves, the captain follows, stepping off the hull that carried them into the fight. Behind him, the ship rolls further, smoke pouring from its wounds. HMS Coventry did not sink because its crew lacked courage, discipline, or training. It sank because modern systems have edges, and when a fight is forced into those edges, technology stops being a guarantee. Radar missed what physics allowed to hide. Missiles failed where geometry broke down. Computers hesitated when reality moved faster than logic. And when the systems failed, only people were left. What saved lives that day was not software or steel, but leadership under pressure, professionalism without panic, and men who did their jobs even after the plan collapsed. The pilots on the other side survived not because they were reckless, but because they understood risk, limits, and timing, and accepted the cost before the fight began. That lesson matters far beyond war. In aviation, in business, in medicine, in daily life, systems are powerful, but they are never complete. When we trust them blindly, we borrow confidence we don't actually own. When they fail, character is what remains. If this story made you stop and think, share it with someone who values responsibility under pressure. Like the video to help it reach more people. Subscribe for more stories where history, technology, and human judgment collide. Because understanding failure is how we avoid repeat.